I want you to defend Heavenly Sword.
Oh, the Defend Heavenly Sword. Defend Heavenly Sword. It's one of the great underrated action games of the PS3 that gets a bad rap because its protagonist looks like a hooker. And such.
That's not really why I thought I got a bad rap. I thought I got a bad rap because a lot of people wrote it off as knockoff God of War, and after playing it, it's not like I can't see why.
It's not that it's a knockoff God of War, right? It's knockoff Dynasty Warriors if it's anything. Okay? We'll keep that straight.
Okay, the enemies have a little more agency and a little more actual, like, genuine difficulty to them as opposed to, like, Koei Tecmo's playstyle. Like,
okay, here's the thing. You can't really call it a God of War knockoff if it was a Sony first-party exclusive, though, can you?
Oh, yes, you can.
I don't know about that. What exactly about this game is just, like, it deserves to be a top 10 is the thing. Like, because, look, I don't hate the game. I actually had fun playing it. But it's just like, if you were to ask me, if you were to put a gun to my head and say, what deserves to be on this list more, is it God of War 3 or Heavenly Sword? I'd have to go with God of War 3.
Okay, but that's kind of... Is that really a fair comparison, though, when God of War 3 is like the magnum opus?
But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm trying to give you a chance to just, like, explain yourself. Like, what is it about Heavenly Sword that makes it stand out on its own, aside from what we can just see from a third-person perspective? Like, what makes Heavenly Sword its identity?
I think it's some of the combat mechanics that it has in it that God of War lacks. Like, the environmental, not attacks, but the environmental interaction you can have with the game. Picking up stuff off the ground to use, like, to give yourself some space between you and the enemies. God of War covers that by giving you a freaking spinning attack. And you can't tell me, you can't come at me, that Heavenly Sword has the samey combat, and it's really easy. When everybody I watch play God of War enough, even God of War 3 devolves into the same combo, which is the spinning Blades of Chaos attack. Jump into the air, spin the blades. Jump in the air, spin the blades.
That is a good point. God of War 3, I think, on the whole, I don't know, I think it's just, in a lot of ways, I think...
It's a bigger scope. I will
not
admit
just,
that.
Not just the bigger scope, I would argue that it has, like, the more, like, the story that kind of sticks with people a lot more.
Yeah, because it's the third game that is ending a trilogy.
Yeah,
obviously it's gonna stick more.
But at the same time, it's like, it's also, again, we're coming off of, like, how many God of War games and how many people actually do like out of this series is the thing.
I don't like the new series, I'll be honest. I think they're really, really low ranking.
Yeah, but keeping it to, like, everything from 1 to 3. It's like, I think the only games people really like are just 2 and 3.
It's just 2 and 3, because 1 is so... Have you tried to go back and play 1?
I have tried to go back and play
HD
1.
Version?
You can't go back. It's
I've tried to play 1.
It's so clunky.
Yeah.
And I know what people say. You can't just say it's clunky and then not explain what you mean. But my problem with that is...
My brother in Christ, it was a PS2 game. Clunky came with the territory.
It was not just a PS2 game. It was an early PS2 game.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It was so early that they were still not implementing the second stick for camera movement. So they had, like, predetermined camera angles. That's why God of War 1 looks like that.
Maybe I should give you, like, a little more slack, because I feel like with Heavenly Sword, I remember the story a lot better, whereas with God of War 3, I feel like it's the Dragon Ball Z problem of, like, a lot of great highlights, but everything else...
the stuff in between, right?
Like, I remember the mini-game of the fight of, like, beating up Zeus, which you can just do for eternity. You can just keep going until the screen goes red. I remember that shit. But it's just like, you know... everything else, like going through like the river Styx at the beginning and everything, is like, I mean, you start climbing Titans at the beginning and taking on Poseidon, sure, but
let's make some more enemies, okay? God of War 3 is the video game equivalent to Jujutsu Kaisen.
I don't know if
There's a lot of filler crap in between, but then when you get to the good parts, which are the fights, it's really great.
Like, the problem with Jujutsu Kaisen, it's a rehash of so many shonen series. But my feelings with, like, it being, I think, more like Dragon Ball Z is kind of in the right, because it's like, it's not that it's a bad story or anything, but it's like
exactly.
What do you
remember?
A lot more of the highlights.
Hey, do you remember Dragon Ball Z? Yeah, I loved the episode where Goku and Piccolo got their driver's license.
Yeah,
Nobody's gonna say that.
I remember Helios getting his head ripped off and screaming. I don't remember how everything built up to that went.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like, it's literally, you know what, you're absolutely right. Because the more I think about, not even just Dragon Ball Z, but also Dragon Ball, I was like, what do I remember about this series, right? And it's it's the iconic moments.
The one thing I remember most is, like, they brought in Midas. And I'm like, okay, so he's, like, you know, kind of delusional and everything. He's seeing a river of lava as the river Styx and everything. And, oh, his touch turned the lava into gold, which I don't really understand.
Also, Sozo, that goes to Sparta.
That was Ghost of Sparta? What?
Yeah, Midas is from Ghost of Sparta. He's not from 3.
Wow, that even goes so further as to... I thought that was in...
your point.
Wow, that... Holy shit. Okay, I will say, Hades in the game looked cool. I don't remember a fucking thing about his character.
There wasn't. He didn't have a character.
Yeah.
Just that he loved Persephone and you killed her. That was it.
And then I guess there's also like, and then there's Aphrodite, but it's just the usual God of War treatment of like hot woman you get to have off-screen sex with her.
Yeah. Off-screen sex was crazy.
So I don't know.